o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys, I love you 3000.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong
is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Miranda. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the one and only, the voice that introduced Pitikin Kita sa Ilong, isang hampas na lang ng palakol, the power of yet. Please, let's give it up to our pambansang crypto coach, Coach Miranda Minor.
Hey guys! Hello, hello, hello!
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor, sa cryptocurrency kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat ay matutunan.
Isang magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. My name is Coach Miranda Minor and welcome to another edition of our Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Fundamentals, exclusive interviews, marites, and everything about crypto all in one channel.
Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys. I love you 3,000.
Ayun, isang napakaganda namang commercial at jingle niyan mga kamiranda. Kailangan medyo ganito yung itsura natin today because we have a special guest for our episode for today, Kamiranda. As you guys would have known, no, the FOMC, the Federal Operating Management Committee of the United States, have most recently, have indicated that we're potentially seeing some rate cuts on 2024. For us to be able to understand that further, we have actually invited a specialist, from the First Metro Securities Metro Bank Group to tell us ano po ba ang ibig sabihin yan and what does that mean on a big picture, on a big market perspective, mga kamiranda. All right, so let's without further ado, let's actually now go on with our discussion ngayon. Today is December 22, 3 days na lang, Pasko na, pero trabaho pa din tayo. Alright, let's now do this.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
Alright, hey Peter, thank you again. You are actually live in our screen for today. Please say hi to our Kamiranda viewers.
Hi everyone. Good evening.
It's nice to have you again in our show. Maraming salamat, at pinaunlakan niyo ang aming invitation to be able to talk to our audience about the stock market, the macroeconomics, etc. Pero before that, Peter, kamusta naman ang Pasko? Are we all prepared or naghahabol din?
Yeah, all good. Feeling the Christmas already, the traffic and all. So yeah.
Sobrang
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oo, sobrang traffic ngayon, ha? Grabe na. Talaga ang mga tao nagluluwasan, Grabe. Anyways, yeah. So most recently, as what we have actually shared sa mga kamiranda natin, we have
we have actually a dot plot no ng 2024 na nagsasabi na we're most likely within the 75 basis points reduction, no, at ang usap-usapan daw ay by 2024 of April or March or even May rate cut na tayo. So, officially starting with our show for today, siguro ang gusto kong malaman is can you provide to us an overview, Peter, no? To our audience on the most recent developments regarding the most recent decision to do interest rate cuts. Why did they cut rates? Why are they implying to cut rates already? What's happening? What's the story behind that? Please go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. So the Federal Reserve, commonly referred to as the Fed, is the central bank of the United States. And just to give context, so just last week, the Fed kept its interest rate steady at 5.25% to 5.5% for the third consecutive period. And this sets the table for multiple rate cuts to come in 2024, as mentioned by Coach earlier. So Fed officials have penciled in at least 3 rate cuts of 25 bips increment next year. And the market had widely anticipated this decision, which could end the tightening cycle that has seen around 11 hikes, bringing the interest rates to its highest level in more than 22 years. So as we have seen, right after the Fed released its decision, U.S. markets rallied with the Dow Jones jumping by more than 400 points. And so the market was really ecstatic given the dovish signal given by the Fed. And this positive sentiment even spilled over to the local markets, to the PSCI, which actually surged by around 2.5%. And this is kind of rare for the local market as well, given we have more of like a tepid year this year. And in addition to the dot plot of individual Fed officials' expectations indicates that there will be 4 rate cuts anticipated in 2025. So that's equivalent to around 100 bips or 1%. And 3 more rate cuts are expected come 2026. So this will bring interest rate down between 2% to 2.25%.
Interesting. So Peter, is it safe to assume that whenever the Fed is going to do rate cuts, is that going to become a bullish narrative for the equity market?
Well, if the Fed is going to do a rate cut, it usually what happens is that stock markets would rally. But historically that's what's happening. But
why will it rally?
Basically because it's kind of inversely correlated, with interest rates is conversely correlated with like the stock market. So if the Fed or the BSP would increase interest rates, the stock market would probably decline. And because if interest rates are high, so consumption demand would decline, so less business activity, economic activity. So the expectations would be companies would have slower growth, slower earnings. So that's why equity markets or the equities would decline as well.
So understanding the dot plots na sinabi mo kanina. So sabi mo 75 BPS for 2024 rather, and then there's potentially 4 rate cuts on 2025. Can you talk to me or talk to our audience about the historical yung rate cuts na yan? So why can it not be isang bagsakan lang? What factors contribute to the path of doing rate cuts? Bakit 4? Bakit 3 on 2024? Bakit 4 2025? What is the unusual, how unusual is it in the context of historical rate cycles? Unusual ba siya or talagang it looks like after the terminal rate of 5.4, ganun ba talagang 3 per year or is that normal?
Yeah, historically, when rates are being aggressively cut, no, this could mean that there is something wrong with the economy. It may indicate that the Fed is concerned that the economy might enter into a recession. So, in the last 4 decades, actually, of policy cycles, interest rates are often raised cautiously but cut more quickly and aggressively. So, the current policy cycle that we are in is an exception, as it's more of like a gradual cutting of interest rates. So let's say, for example, no, historically in 2020, the Fed aggressively cut its interest rates, delivering two huge rate cuts at unscheduled emergency meetings around March 2020. So this actually returned interest rates to range between 0 to 25%.
Because
So
there was a
that's
pandemic nung March 2020, 'di
yes,
ba?
that's pandemic.
Para
And
i-boost, parang sort of parang pampagising sa economy yan eh. No, they
correct.
need
Yes,
to cut
yes.
the rates. They need to pump the economy by, zeroing in on rates, expanding your balance sheet, expansionary market movements, etc. But please go ahead.
Yeah, so as mentioned, during 2020, there was COVID-19 pandemic, and US actually entered into a short recession. It was a recession, but that's just quite a short period of time, and that was mainly triggered by health crisis. But yeah, that was just a short recession. But moving further, 2007 to 2008, and that was the era of housing market crash and the Great Recession, right? So during this period, that was my elementary days actually. So during this period, the Fed also cut interest rates to reach 0% as well.
2007, elementary ka lang. Nako,
Yes,
napakatanda ko
yes.
na pala. Ako po ay director na at 2007 sa isang company. But please go ahead.
So yeah, so interest rates also settled at 0% during that time. And what came before that recession in 2008 was the housing market boom around 2005 to 2006. And back then, cost of rent, price relative to construction cost, and price relative to incomes are all at record high. So the Fed tried to slow it down, to slow down the economy and the growing real estate bubble by hiking interest rates by 17 times in 2 years. So that increased the interest rates by around 4% over that period. So during 2008 recession, US Americans saw their home values collapse, and the unemployment rate surged from 5% to 10% in October of 2009, around 2009.
So
And
Peter, sorry to interrupt you. So what you're saying is, for this particular rate cycle, this is, what they're doing here is they're slowly reducing rates. They were very cautious on raising interest rates, but they were very aggressive at some point, dapat, on reducing rates, but this time it was a bit different. That's what you're saying.
yes, yes.
Okay, question. Why do they seem to be very cautious on breaking something, quote unquote, when they're raising rates? You said they're very cautious. Ano ba yung meron? Why are they very careful on breaking? What is that? What is that na pwede nilang i-break?
Right. You're correct there, Coach. So the Fed, after aggressively hiking interest rates, they're usually wary, of like breaking something. So this could refer to asset markets, labor market, or the economy as a whole. So they're already aware that something may have already broken by the time they're actually implementing rate cuts. And well, for one, they are making or mainly trying to avoid recession, meaning recession means negative economic growth. Is measured through the GDP, and actually, even the Fed is saying that it's too early to declare victory in terms of taming inflation. And of course, the Fed remains to be guarded, to be cautious on a number of threats, including war in Middle East, the Israel-Hamas war in the Middle East, China's economic slowdown. So these are some factors that the Fed is considering or looking at. And but of course, we have yet seen U.S. economy we have seen the U.S. economy still ending the year with in a better position, right? Inflation has dropped to 3.1% from its peak at 9.1%. So also unemployment rate is at around 3.7%. So it's not that high, and economy grew in recent quarters as well. So the U.S. economy is in a better shape or a better position right now. Also, there are fresh data showing that consumer confidence actually reached to a 5-month high as well in December, and this is a welcome development. And thanks to the growing optimism for incomes, the job market, and the overall business conditions in the U.S.
So but on that, I mean, so from an inflation perspective, si Fed, they don't seem to expect that inflation is going to hit 2% by this month. They're expecting it to hit around 2026. How does this prolonged timeline in reaching the inflation target influence their decision to cut interest rates? Sabi nga nila parang higher for longer tayo, no? So how does this, timeline, for reaching the inflation target 2026 pa daw nila ma-achieve ang 2%. Dinahandahan ba nilang i-rate ang cut ng rates just because of that? Or do you think na they're just being very aggressive but at the same time careful din? Kasi you will never know. Malay mo, within the time that they're cutting rates, inflation will go high again. Isn't it?
Right, right. You're correct. The Fed also acknowledges that there's still more work to be done to bring down inflation to, as you've mentioned, the target is at around 2%. And they actually think that 2% will be achievable by 2026. And that's around 2 years from now. And the Fed is even noting that they are ready to do another rate hike if the situation warrants. So if inflation again spikes, if it shoots up, they're quite ready to do another rate hike. But I think it's going to be a higher, really for longer scenario for the U.S. interest rates, and this is in a bid to cool down inflation. Taking down inflation takes a while since the effect of monetary policy tightening is not immediate. It's not overnight. It's not 1 month. Meaning there's an impact lag. So there's a lag between its implementation and its actual effect on the economy. So in 2 years' time, the Fed may gradually cut interest rates to reach their target inflation, which is at 2%.
All right. So just on that, I'm actually showing the dot plot right now. May nakikita dito that the 2024 median outlook of the Fed funds rate is around 4.6%. So coming from around 550 basis points. So 4.6%, pero ito ay nagbago ng almost 50 basis points from 3 months ago median plots. How significant is that change? Alam mo, sabi nga nila, may nabasa akong isang napakagandang article. Sabi doon, si Jerome Powell, siya yung speaker, siya yung nagmamassage ng message, pero the dot plot is an opportunity for the governors to bypass Powell. Kasi hindi lang siya yung boses na yan. That's a votation of many Fed officials. Federal Reserve officials. Diba? So this is one of the times where he can be bypassed. No? And in this case, ang pagkakarinig ko, 6 ang bumoto ng almost 75 basis point rate cuts. Diba? 75 basis points. So, nagbago ng almost 50 basis points 3 months ago. Bakit ganon? How important is that change? And what is the implication of that reduction to the broader economy? And talk to us about implication of this rate cut in the PSEI and of course the US market as well.
Right. So as you've mentioned, Coach, the dot plot actually represents. In each individual plot represents individual members of the Fed, and that's when they can voice out their opinions regarding the interest rates. And so the market actually reacted positively, after the Fed announced its new 2024 median outlook for the Fed funds rate of 4.6%. And as you've mentioned, that's 50 bips lower from September. And this is actually, the reason why equities have been rallying in the past couple of days, and the U.S. equities were swept up with Fed euphoria. So I think this was actually a gift of the Fed to the
Parang Santa
market.
Claus gift nga daw eh. Oo eh. Parang
Gift.
Christmas
Yeah.
gift no ng Fed. Oo.
And we have actually seen the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 indices. It actually reached record highs just recently, and we're expecting rallies even to extend up until next week. So maybe to cap the year with on the green. And also, we have seen that U.S. Treasury yields have moved sharply down
Oo.
as
Nakita ko
investors
sobra.
adjust their
Oo. Laki ng dive niya. Oo.
yes.
Oo. Go ahead.
So investors adjust their rate expectations already. So the 10-year actually fell to around, I mean, the last time I checked, that's around 3.9%. And it's the lowest level already since July this year. So the market is actually expecting the US to enter into a soft landing scenario next year. And this has been driving positive sentiments for investors. Also, it drove positive sentiment in the US, and it spilled over here in the PSEI. And actually, just this week, we have seen the PSEI to increase week on week.
Interesting. Yeah. So if the rate cuts, if the rates are cut, no, 75 bips or even 150 bips, for example, how is that going to impact the current monetary policy? No, especially they're considering a long-run neutral rate, no, neutral rate. How is that going to affect the monetary policy and even the dollar index, the dollar, the DXY? How is that going to affect? Peter, please educate us.
Yeah, I think in terms of cutting interest rates, no, it's becoming less of a question of if, but it's rather a question of when. So when will the Fed cut interest rates? I guess there are two main reasons, why the Fed cut interest rates. For one, Fed cut rates when something goes wrong in the economy. So as mentioned, this could be a probable or potential
So
recession.
may recession, usap-usapan, kaya talagang they need to force na, no?
Yes, and another is that the Fed cuts could preemptively in response to data that shows the economy is losing steam. So it doesn't necessarily put US into a recession, but there are some data points that the economy is slowing down. So they would want to reinvigorate the economy at the very least. So, but if the Fed cuts interest rates in 2024, it is highly likely that it is not due to an imminent risk of a recession or a need, to insure against a recession. So we think that the Fed would cut rates only if their projections pan out, and that is inflation going down. So when the expectations of a lower interest rates, this will be definitely good. This will be definitely good for the market as it will boost positive sentiments for investors.
Okay, so let's now go to my question about timing of rate cuts. No, may nagsasabi kasi from a timing perspective, parang political itong rate cut na ito because obviously there's a presidential election coming in next year, November of 2024. I mean, aside from that, ano ba yung mga factors that can influence the timing? I know that you said it is the board that does the vote, no, and they will dictate kung kailan ng rate cuts, 'di ba? But from a timing perspective, ano pa yung mga other current events that might be pushing this, in your opinion?
I think the main factor really that would influence the timing of rate cuts would be major economic data such as inflation, GDP, and unemployment rate. And for the presidential election, as you have mentioned, since the central bank or the Fed is an independent institution from the government, it must have the autonomy to decide what it sees fit for the economy, and that's basically the textbook definition of central banks. However, sometimes in theory there is no difference between theory and practice, but in practice or reality there is a difference. But I won't say whether presidential elections play a role in terms of the timing. But what I will argue is that based on previous research, a strong economy benefits an incumbent presidential candidate or the party of the incumbent presidential candidate, since voters consider their economic or financial well-being into assessing the current leader's performance. And an economic performance also depends on the policy or the monetary policy that the Fed will implement. So in the theory is that lower interest rates makes borrowing less expensive for businesses and consumers. So lower interest rates making propels companies to invest in new projects, and the everyday people will spend. So the economy will also expand. So that will give you like a better number in terms of economy, and that should also help propel economic growth and also buoy consumer optimism. So yeah, I think you're quite right, Coach. No, when the Fed cuts interest rates, it also bolsters optimism to the consumers.
Okay.
And of course, yeah, in terms of the economy, it's going to grow as well.
Yeah, so I am presenting the Philippine stock market now in my screen, no? At let's talk about yung sinabi mo recession, no? They're predicting a potential recession in a very layman term, sa simpleng pananalita. Pag sinabing if the US declares a recession, ano mangyayari sa stock market? Lilipad, babagsak, ano mangyayari?
When there's a recession, of course, as mentioned earlier, no, the fear of something could break, so the equity markets could also decline. The economy could collapse, and that's definitely gonna be bad for investors as well. So it's,
So you said that there's sounding of a potential recession. Anong mga nakikita nyo sa First Metro Securities ngayon that could be signaling a recession for 2024? Ano yung mga indicators suggesting a possible recession?
Yeah, I think one of the more used or indicator in terms of identifying possible recession would be the inverted yield curve, and this is, I think, something that we have discussed in our previous discussion,
Correct.
Coach. No, so and just to define an inverted yield curve, this happens when short-term treasury bond yields have higher rates than the long-term treasury bonds, and this also reflects the pessimism of investors on economic prospects in the near term. So if ever recession happens, I think the Fed has several monetary policy tools that it can implement to reinvigorate economy as well. So aside from these indicators, other indicators could also be, if there's an increased unemployment, so that could also be an indicator as well in terms of going to a recession. So for example, if you or your neighbors are going out of jobs, so that could also be an indicator of a recession.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we spoke about the 10-year and 2-year treasury yield, no? Na meron tayong talagang sobrang bagsak, no? Sorry, inverted rather, no? So I'm actually presenting the 10-year to 2-year yield. Right now, we're improving somehow, but we're still far from zero. Inverted pa din technically. Anyways, I'm actually presenting it right now on my screen. So ngayon, siguro ang last two questions ko, Peter, no? Comparing it with the previous easing cycle. Actually, wala to sa question na pinadala ko sa'yo, pero gusto ko itanong ito, no? Quantitative easing. Diba? Tightening before, easing ngayon, do you think part of rate reduction, they might also be printing more, money to bolster the economy, to avoid recession? Expansionary market, are they going to expand their balance sheet?
Tingin mo they're gonna be doing that part ba yan ng reducing interest rates?
I think the Fed has several tools that they can use in order to, prevent the economy to enter into a recession. And as you've mentioned, quantitative easing is another tool that they can use.
In the
order to-
headline, but they did not say they're gonna be easing yet, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Just the rates, the interest rates, no.
Okay.
But that's another tool that they can use as well, and probably maybe they are going to use a mixed bag of tools that in their possession in order to protect as well the economy of the U.S. And I think for several times, no, the U.S. economy has entered into a recession, and it's very rare to experience a soft landing scenario in the US. Actually, I think it's just around one or twice, two times lang nagkaroon ng soft landing in the US. But
By layman term, laymanize what a soft landing is for our community.
so soft landing means lower inflation. That means lower inflation, but also a good GDP, a good earnings, or I mean a good economy. At the same time, it's a good numbers in terms of unemployment. So meaning unemployment is quite stable. Walang masyadong nawawalan ng trabaho. Yung prices ng mga bilihin ay ano pa rin, parang okay pa rin, hindi mataas yung inflation mo.
So kakabaliktaran
Hindi
ng hard landing, which is, what's a hard landing?
So a hard landing would mean that a lot of people would lose jobs.
Okay.
So unemployment rate would go up. It would go up. Also, I think hard landing would also mean that that's definitely a recession actually. So there would be breaks in the economy that you would see during a hard landing, and that's definitely bad. That's definitely bad for us everyday people.
Pero tingin mo there could be a no landing scenario, meaning economy goes upward but inflation is still upward pa din, no? So potential pa din. We could be higher for longer. I mean, baka we're now on a new alam mo yon, new perspective in the market that yes, the economy is very good but higher inflation is here to stay. Baka 2% is outdated na. Pinag-uusapan nyo ba yun sa Metrobank? There could be a no landing scenario.
Well, our house view for next year is that we're expecting the US to enter into a soft landing. So our assumptions in our models, we're expecting US to enter into a soft patch scenario next year. So that means that inflation would decline, would drop, and there won't be in terms of unemployment, it won't spike. Not a lot of job losses next year for the
So
the US.
dahan-dahan, normal, good economy, better than the opposite, which is recession, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
we're not factoring in recession next year. We're not factoring a negative growth rate. So in terms of the U.S. economy and even in the Philippines, we're not factoring it. But we're expecting a slowdown nonetheless next year, both for the U.S. and the Philippine economy.
Okay, all right. On that note, kailangan mag-quick fast talk lang tayo, mabilis na sagot lang, no? Kuya Peter, I hope it's okay for you. Isang mabilis na tanong, isang mabilis na sagot. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, sure.
Type number 1 kung meron ka natutunan ka, Miranda. All right, question number 1, Peter. Are you bullish for 2024? Yes or no?
We're quite the opposite.
You are bearish.
Cautiously optimistic. Cautious.
You are cautiously optimistic. All right, give me your top 5 stock picks for 2024 from Metrobank.
Well, we have CNPF, we have RLC, we have RCR, MREIT, and PLDT.
So halos hindi nagbago CNPF pa din but you have PLDT already.
Yes, yes. Because it's kind of income play, dividend play.
Dividend play. Yung pinost ko. Nag-post ako ng dividend play Ang ganda ng dividend play nila. Medyo mahal ang stock niyan. Meron ba kayo sa First Metrosec ng mga ganyan? No, meron kayo diyan, 'di ba? Download lang ng app ninyo tapos lagyan lang. How often does PLDT do? Do you know dividends? How often?
I'm not quite so sure. I think it's annually or maybe semi-annual in terms of taking out dividends, but it's quite high, around 7 to 8%.
Actually, I'm getting that. No, I got that 6 months ago. No, from them. Tingnan natin kung medyo malaki ulit. Si JFC meron Yung mga rates every month. Pag meron ka every month makukuha dyan, no? Depending on the program of the rates. Anyways, alright, another question. Meron ka na bang Bitcoin, yes or no?
I did.
You do? Very good. When did you get that Bitcoin? When did you get that Bitcoin?
I think around 2020-ish.
Matagal ka na may Bitcoin. Congratulations, nako. Malaki na yan kung 2020 mo nakuha. Alright, for the US economy, we're cautiously optimistic. What's your thought on the Philippine stock market? Same? Cautiously optimistic then?
Yes, cautiously optimistic. It's gonna be volatile, but there are opportunities still that we can take advantage of in next year.
Okay, pero meron tayong napakapangit na 2020 because of the pandemic. Do you think 2024, in your own opinion, I know you're cautiously optimistic, but can we break around 7,000 points in PSEI?
In a bullish case, yes. For
Okay, your
2024.
bull case is 7 plus, no?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Do you think, again, offline pinag-usapan natin kanina, meron ka bang alam in terms of effect of this rate cuts in the Bitcoin area? You said no, it's okay. But in your humble opinion, do you see, or at least in your research, do you see correlation between indices and Bitcoin in terms of movement so far?
Well, I think in terms of asset allocation, some are going into crypto with they are more, even if they are more volatile, they have better returns in terms of in compared to equities right now.
All right, very interesting. On that note, I would like to give to you the last couple of minutes, Peter. Any message? Invite our friends, our kababayans to try First Metro Securities, and any other message. The floor is yours. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Coach. No, for our viewers, yes, we're inviting you. I'm inviting you to our events at First Metro Securities. We have free webinars. We're offering free webinars. This includes financial education, financial literacy, and it's just for free. Just visit our Facebook page, our Twitter accounts, and I hope you could also consider our stock picks for next year, and hopefully you also attend our webinars, and see you there. I'm also sometimes panel with our webinars.
By the way, I have CNPF, RLC, and URC, and PLDT, no, in my long-term positions in the Philippine stock market.
All of our topics. Yeah.
I have 4 of them. Dinagdagan ko lang ng mga konting energy. Actually, kumita ako dyan kay ASEN. Lumipad dyan kanina sa stocks.
Yeah.
Lumipad siya. Meron siyang FA Oo. Kaya, alam mo ba, kwento ko lang sa'yo, yung ASEN na yan, before mag-list yan, tsaka yung si A-rate na yan. Kasi di ba nagtrabaho ako sa isang telco company. Ngayon, yung building namin nakatayo sa isang Ayala Properties. So kilala kami ng taga-Ayala. So sabi sa amin ng taga-Ayala, "Huy, baka gusto nyo bumili before kami mag-market, before namin i-IPO, bumili nila kayo." As far as I remember, si A-rate was offered 26, ang IPO price 26 pesos. It was offered to us 25.75. Pero ang minimum purchase 5 million pesos, no? Kumbaga on hindsight, sana dumoble na yung 5 million mo kasi malaki na ang A rate ngayon, tumaas na eh. No?
Yes, yes.
Kumpara sa listing price niya. Although, nung mga unang panahon, yung A rate na yan, no, anong listing price niyan was 27, pumalo ng 52 yan nag-52 yan. Dumoble ng price yung si A rate, 'di ba? Although gumi-give up na ngayon, pero nag-peak yan around 52 pesos. So imagine mo, sabi niya sa amin, 5 million minimum, no? Eh di sana nung nag-peak yan ng February 2022, 'di ba? After 5 years, 4 years almost. Sana doble na yung pera mo. Pero again, those are history. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin na we were given an opportunity to buy that, no, ahead. Anyways, yan. Okay, profitable ako dyan kay Asen, no? Tagal ko nang hino-hodl niyan. Mataas ang nilipad niya kanina from a price perspective. So si Asen is Ayala Energy, no? Ayala Corporation Energy, Miranda. So medyo umakyat yan. Actually has been increasing, no, since the latter part medyo umakyat, no. Meron akong nakitang FA. Anyways, tingnan natin, no? Tingnan po natin kung tutuloy-tuloy yan. Bumaba ng konti yan, pero if you're going to take a look at when it was listed around 2020, matagal ko nang hino-hodl yan. Around actually before pa mag 2 pesos yan, around 2 pesos, no? 2 pesos yan, na-hodl na natin, no? Kasi kailangan mamili. Anyways, siguro magawa tayo ng konting konting charting for the Philippine stock market very soon. But on that note, maraming salamat, no, Peter, for your time, and thank you to First Metrosec for your time as you kind of give us knowledge and information, no, about the bigger market. Huwag kayong madadala at sa uulitin. All right?
Thank you so much, Coach. We're privileged. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
All right.
Miranda.
Thank you, Miranda. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, mga Kamiranda. So, what's this? I'm very, very happy, no, na meron tayong at least nakuhang aral in terms of our our interview for today. Balikan ko lang yung mga pinagsasabi ko kanina, no, from a charting perspective. So si PSEI, give me a second, Give me a second. Hanapin ko lang tong chart ko, no. Yan si Asen, matagal ko nang hinuhold, sobrang tagal na niyan. Asen, si Eric hindi na, nagbenta na ako niyan. I'm never going to enter Ayala land. Pare-pares kasi hindi na maakit yung price niyan. Si Banks, no, talagang recovering si Banks. So ito yung forecast ko, Miranda. Actually, tumama ulit yung ating charting for PSEI. Pakita ko lang sa inyo ng mabilis, no. Ayan, no. So sabi ko si PSEI, so meron siyang support at resistance. So support, resistance. Sabi ko na mag-o-osure to, no. So technically nag-osure talaga siya, no, ng December 20. Pagka-hit niya ng 6,500, nag-retest lang siya, bumaba ulit, no, ng 64.29 si PSEI. So therefore valid yung long-term SNR flip natin for PSEI, no. And then from a pure charting perspective, pag yan nag-retest ulit ng 6,500 paakyat, then it can potentially go up even further PSEI wise, no. Itong si TEL, long term galawan to, no? Long term ito. Dividend play ka dyan for TEL. I have a TEL for dividend play, no? And then let me just do the give me a second, no? Ayan, so si A-rate yung sinasabi ko, umabot ng 52 yan at some point here, no? Nag-top sa 52 yan and only for it to go down. But again, A-rate is still recovering. Ngayon, ayan, recovering siya, no? Technical resistance siya within this particular area. Alright? Baka mag-o-oras yan dyan. But recovering, nag-52. Si ASEN, galing yan 2 pesos, umakyat ng umakyat yan. Ayan, ano? So technically, ayan, si ASEN, ano? Technically, no? Ay, sorry, not this one. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Here. Ito yung sinasabi nating 2, no? Give me a second, Miranda. Minsan, alam mo, minsan nakakamiss din mag-stocks pero at the end of the day, parang parang kung isipin mo, ito yung ASEN natin. There you go. Ayan. So meron siyang breakout on 257, umakyat ng umakyat, humataw pa ang ASEN ng 13, no? Actually si ASEN napasok ko na yun around 2 pesos, no? Naka-hold lang ako diyan. Nag-partial take profit na ako diyan. Tingin ko magre-retest yan around 257 ulit, no? And then BDO umaangat yan simply because banks are very profitable, same as BPI. Si BPI nag 104 na. Although meron siyang key level resistance sa 114. So if you're going to enter BPI, guys, ako sa inyo, if you're going to add more positions on BPI, antayin nyo na mabasag to. Antayin nyo na gumawa ng higher high yan, above 121. Kasi tingin ko ito, mag-retest pa to ng another 95, no? And then aakyat. Pwede mag 95 muna ulit, no? Still we need to get out of this red candles, no, within the trend, from a trend perspective, right? Yan. So but kung nabili nyo si BPI around 70 pesos, technically profitable na kayo dyan. It's up to you to hodl it, no? Ang BPI kasi for me, no, sila yung nakinabang nung higher interest rates market, no? Sila yung nakinabang dyan. Even BDO, kay tataas po ng stocks niya, nagre-retest po ng mga all-time highs yan, no? Alright, si Mond, for me, medyo overrated si Mond sa akin when they got listed. So I never purchased Mond Nissin. A little bit, no? But sabi ko, long term, not a good play for me. Si GMA7, medyo kakaiba to si GMA7, no? Kasi in my own standpoint, maganda sana kung nabili mo siya around 3.5 pesos, no? Nabili mo siya ng mga unang panahon, no? Kasi halos nag-7 pa yan, tapos nung nagsara yung ABS-CBN around 2020-ish, lumipad sila ng 16. Pero ngayon retesting around 7 lang ulit, no? Tingin ko mas gagandahan lang nila yung mga palabas nila, mas gumanda pa talaga ang kanilang mga contents, no? Then this is gonna be a good stock. However, in my own perspective, to be honest with you, I will never ever buy any more TV stocks anymore. Bakit? The contents are getting out of mainstream media, no? Alam nyo ba yon? The contents are going here in YouTube, in Facebook, digital media. Mas pagandahin ng GMA7 ang kanilang digital offering, then tataas yung stocks nila. Otherwise, di naman nangyari, no? Sila na nga lang ang solong kumpanya ngayon, nababa pa rin naman, down to almost 7 or 8 pesos pa din sila, diba? Anyways, the stocks that you're seeing here are the ones that I'm actually monitoring, mga Miranda. MPA got delisted and to go as well. So technically, these are the stocks that I'm actually monitoring on a long-term perspective. All right. Okay, so let's now, before tayo magpaalam, medyo mabilis po ang aking live for today. I-interpret ko lang yung pinag-usapan namin kanina ni Peter. Kamiranda, ibig sabihin yan, by 2024, they're very cautiously optimistic. So, it reinforces what I said here in our show that 2024 can be a potential bullish discussion for the market, for the equity market. So, tingin ko susunod lang din dyan ang stock market, mga Kamiranda. Alright? So, susunod lang din dyan. Anyways, susunod ang stock market and cryptocurrency market, mga Kamiranda. Okay, before ako magpaalam, bigyan ko kayo ng bonus na technical analysis. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Technical analysis for the crypto market traders live with Coach Miranda Minor.
All right, just give me a second. Alright, alam mo Kamiranda, sobrang natutuwa si Coach kasi nire-respeto ni Bitcoin yung support and resistance natin. Ano? So, very valid po yung SNR ni Coach. Ang ating key level is going to be 43,477 and our key level resistance is going to be 44, within the current swings, no? 44,180. Ito po. Yan. And our current support, no, is going to be 43,477. Kamiranda, if the price of Bitcoin retests and nagkaroon ng confirmation pababa, pag ito po ay bumaba, nagkaroon ng confirmation dito, then this can potentially go down even further. Ang magiging next support natin is 42,894. No? 42, actually, teka lang, give me a second. No? Sagarin ko na sa pinakailalim. Ayan, kung valid ba to? Yeah, 42,766. No? Tingin natin this one can become a very strong support, pero pag ni-retest pa niya pababayan, ang magiging support na natin is 42,766. Is it possible that this can create a breakdown? Posible pa rin po yan. No? I'm seeing a triple top here. This can potentially create a breakdown pababa. So be very mindful of that price action. At pwede rin niyang i-bounce paakyat yan, Kamiranda, kung gusto niya. No? Ang pinakamagandang antayin natin is the breakout from 44,696 paakyat. No? Be very mindful. No? Be very, very mindful. Nagpaalam na ako sa inyo dito that sa akin nanggaling tong resistance, 44,180 nung ating live last Monday or Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Sa akin nanggaling yun. And I said here, very, very specifically, mag-ingat kayo dito because this one can become a very scary play. Scalping play yan. Kasi nga, the market can always create a fake out dyan. No? Kasi ang pangit ng RRR, I will rather wait for a price above this particular area. This one. Okay? Yan po ang antayin natin. All right. Nako, maraming salamat po, Kamiranda. At sana po meron kayong tutunan sa ating episode for today. Batiin ko lang po ang ating mga regular viewers before tayo magpaalam, mga Kamiranda, sa inyo. No? Before tayo magpaalam, batiin ko lang ang ating mga Kamiranda in Facebook and in YouTube.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan. Coach Miranda Minor.
Alright, batiin ko lang si Prince Aaron Sakang, Justin Gopez Tamaki, Santi, no? Sorry, pasensya na kayo, Warden, ha? Pero batiin kita yung auction mo tsaka yung roast ni Santi. RVN kayo, Raven, Laptrip, pasensya na kayo. Kaku, crypto platform after maban si Binance. Ang aking pong answer dyan, Unfortunately, Coins Pro, wala po tayong mai-endorse pa ngayon. We're waiting game, no, on the next actions of our regulators, but definitely gagawa ka mo ng mga meaningful contents, no, on how do we use Coins Pro at this point, or even PDAX ka, Miranda.
Sa cryptocurrency.
Can you recommend some brokers in the stock market? Yes. First, Metrosec, no, or COL.
Kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na lahat
Sabi ni Warden, puro daw agawan ng asawa yung mga palabas ng GMA7.
ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of
Sabi ni Ma'am Ina, mukhang bata pa si Sir Peter, dami niya na agad knowledge about investing. Hope na dumami pa ang mga kabataan na very profitable, no? Very knowledgeable rather, no? Very knowledgeable in the market. I agree with you, no? I agree with you. All right, hello sa kay mga taga Bukid. Ayan, Speed Mentoring 3.0 na bukas, see you daw.
malasakit. Sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys. I love you 3,000. All right. Merry Christmas din. Sabi ni Zekra, Merry Christmas. Hello, salamat sa iyo. John David, salamat ng marami. Maraming salamat din. Monster shout out, Monster R. Cryptodelo, hello.
Coach Miranda Minor, ang crypto coach na inyong maaasahan.
George Jr., hello. Merry Christmas.
Coach Miranda
Happy holiday matcha.
Minor, sa cryptocurrency.
Sa Facebook, basahin ko na din ang ating mga naggagalingang mga kamiranda dyan. No? Magparamdam mga kamiranda in Facebook. Alright, meron tayong live dyan. No? Hello sa inyo. Medyo konti ang nanonood in Facebook. Ha? So baka hindi interesado sa stock market. It's okay. Alright, hello kay Marco Coquiadale. Yan, Tamaki Rose Ann, kay Nida, Fernan Urusha, and ganda na pangalan mo, Robinson Bernardino Jr. Ayan.
Kayo'y gagabayan. Coach Miranda Minor, hangarin na
Alright.
lahat ay matulungan. Pagmamahal at culture of malasakit. Sa kanya'y mararamdaman.
Maraming salamat guys. I love you 3,000. Alright, let's now end our show. But maraming salamat, no, sa inyo pong lahat. Ako ay magla-live pa din bukas hanggang 24th. Tuloy-tuloy tayo magtrabaho kahit holiday, that's okay. At siguro bukas I'm going to do full charting ng maraming mga coins. So I'm gonna be doing charting para tayo po lahat ay matuto. Maraming kasi magagandang coin like Solana nag-98, nag-99, no? Si Bonk, si Bitcoin, ang sarap niyang i-trade ng swings, no? Napakaganda po. No, at basta wag po kayong makakalimot laging mag-tune in to our program, and of course sa mga team replay, don't forget to put your comment in our comment section. Maraming salamat again. Pagbigyan niyo muna ako konting Alright, hello. Ba't parang ano nangyari? Bye guys, love you 3,000.
Coach Miranda Minor.